Welcome to the Mom Founders Table. Pull up a chair and join me every week as I become your thought partner and help you lead to create change. I'm your host, Kelsey Kenry, entrepreneur, millionaire mom of three, and strategic business coach for established mom entrepreneurs. Every week, you will get tactical guidance to apply to your business, leadership, and life that will help you further your true success while also being invited into a new way of thinking and being that creates true freedom. I'm here to call you out and call you up, so take a seat and let's begin. One of the hardest things to tell people is that where they are is their fault. And of course, when this is communicated, it's said much differently. But if we are stressed and burned out in our businesses, that is what we have created with our choices. And the sooner that we accept that responsibility, the sooner we can change it. And while it's not easy for anybody to hear, and it's not easy to accept that, as I've had to do, as my clients have had to do, it's always the hardest thing to embrace the discomfort of uncertainty that is changing your behaviors that are driving your choices. And time again, I see people who really dislike their businesses behind the scenes because of what their business is doing to them mentally and physically. And it's really, really important that as entrepreneurs, we understand the difference between hard work and consistent effort with self-sacrifice. Because some people may think that I'm opposed to working really hard or hustling. But those people don't know me. And what I actually believe is that hustle and effort and hardship and hard work are essential parts of the equation. The other parts of that equation, I should say, is fulfillment and rest and rejuvenation and peace and relaxation. Because if we're not oscillating between the two, if we are not recharging to then give our best, this, along with misalignment of our values, will continue to put us in a place to where we feel mentally and or physically exhausted. So my call to action for you today is to stop offering things in your business that stop offering things in your business that are burning you out. And I want to teach you how you can test things for scalability, for longevity, for sustainability prior to selling them, and give you some food for thought that you can take into what you're currently offering and how that may be affecting your mental well-being. There's a big difference between something being profitable and something being scalable. A profitable offer is something that makes you money. We know this. A scalable offer is something that can be repeated or stacked on, or ideally both, as time extends, month after month, year after year. When we have something that is highly profitable, but can't be repeated because it's so draining, it's not sustainable. So you've likely in your business, depending on how many years you've been in business, you have probably done something in your business, offered a service at some point that you were like, wow, people really like this and they're paying a lot of money for it. And also it's killing me. And also every time I do it, I feel really bad afterwards. And those are the things that we need to pay attention to. Because sometimes it's not just the offer itself or the delivery method, but maybe the lack of boundaries, the lack of clear scope. There's so much that goes into actually crafting a scalable offer that we have to be aware of. But first and foremost, we need to know the difference, and we need to be okay with us actually being forward thinking of like, okay, this may make me a lot of money right now, but is this something that I can continue to hold this capacity? Can I continue to deliver at this rate? Can I uphold the standard that I want to hold in this for a long period of time? Those are harder questions to answer, but I think that a lot of times as hard as entrepreneurship is, we avoid the right kind of hardship that we need to be looking at. We're not afraid to do hard things. We're not afraid to run ourselves into the ground, but we are afraid of making choices that make us wait, that require patience, that are more long-term based, that delay our gratification. Those are the harder ones to make. So every offer needs three things. We need an audience that it solves the problem for. So every offer has three non-negotiable things that we need. We need the person or the audience that we're solving the problem for. We need the results that we're going to get within that offer. And we need a delivery process of how we are going to get those results. Inside these three things is what we must evaluate for sustainability and scalability. So in our audience, and the problem that we're solving, is solving that problem going to be an uphill battle? Is solving that problem something that is aligned with our value system? Is solving that problem something that is marketable? Because if we're answering those questions and we're finding, this thing's very cool, but it's actually not a thing people want, or this thing's very cool, but this problem and solving this problem would be cool, but that would be people that I don't want to work with, that's a problem. In our results and how we're delivering those results, would delivering those results require you to go against your value system? Would delivering those results mean that you're operating outside of current scope, skill sets, team capacity, right? Some of these things are changeable, but some of them are not, right? So when you're looking at the promise that you're delivering on, can you uphold that promise? Because we see a lot of people who are making a lot of promises that aren't necessarily delivering, right? And then in the delivery method, how you are getting somebody from the problem to the solution, this is where we see a lot of the lack of sustainability, right? So even in my own business, right? So private coaching is something that it's been funny to see over the years how many people have eliminated that because they say it's very draining for them. And while private coaching requires the most brain power for me, and I probably have a bigger roster than most people carry as private clients, that is the thing that I love. And the depth of that, I believe, is something that will never go away. And I believe that there will always be a need for one-to-one coaching because all of us want that. And we want to feel like we are one of one and that everything is customized and personalized to us. That being said, if I took on 20 private clients and saw them every single week, that's 20 hours a week right there, not including marketing, admin, team meetings, all the other things that I have to do in my business. And so that would not align and would not be sustainable for me. And so how we set up the delivery model, the features, the amount of interactions, the boundaries around communication, this is going to dictate a lot, right? So a lot of people are burned out because there's too much and they're not putting boundaries around their time or around the scope, or they're not being clear as to what the scope is. And so then they're always operating out of scope, but the client is not clear on what the scope is, right? So being clear on what the scope of work is and making sure that we're communicating that to clients, and then also making sure that we're holding that as a boundary. So it's everybody being on the same page. So if we were to do a checklist of, okay, when we create something, a new offer for our business, or if you were to take your current offers through this, we would ask three questions. Number one, we would ask three questions. Number one, does it protect my capacity, both in time and energy? Number two, does it drive the results that I have promised to deliver? And number three, can I repeat this without overworking? Can I repeat this without overworking? So if you find like maybe you have a marketing agency and you're not tracking the capacity of yourself and your team, which is something I have every client do, if you have no awareness around the number of hours that you're spending on each client, then you have no way of knowing when you are operating over capacity. And if you don't know if you're operating over capacity, as an entrepreneur, you're going to be constantly operating over capacity because that's who we are. Because that's what we do, because we always want more. So something that you can do is after you take your offers through this checklist and you answer yes or no, and you make shifts to make sure that it's passing the vibe check here, the scalability check, is you can do simple math around what is my dream life revenue number, and does the math with my current pricing and my current capacity to be able to have that, right? So let's say that you want to bring in $1 million a year and you have a $10,000 a month package. And to bring in $1 million a year, you would roughly have to do 8 to 9 of these packages per month, right? And then you look at each package and you say each of this $10,000 packages requires 10 hours a week. Then you're saying, okay, that's 80 hours a week. Do I have that between the way that this is set up between me and my team? Is that something that is possible? And usually when you break these things down, you will see that the math is not mathing. And that's why I love the simpleness of really looking at this, of like, I will hear so many people say, you know, they want to make X amount of dollars. And I'm like, okay, so we could do the pricing of this and we could say, okay, so you need to sell 100 of this and you'll hit that. But then they're forgetting to say how many hours are associated with selling 100 of that thing, right? And so this is the missing piece that's creating a lot of burnout for people because they're not actually looking at the capacity required, both again in time and energy, to see if it's actually scalable. Because something can make you a lot of money, but if it requires you running yourself into the ground to deliver it, you're not going to be able to deliver it long term, which means you're going to be back to the drawing board once you crash and burn. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to go through the scalability checklist for the offers that you have right now. I want you to take your offers and I want you to put an average amount of time spent for each thing that you offer. And then I want you to do the math of that dream number with your capacity and your current offers and see, does the math math? If the math doesn't math, then cool. We see that the math doesn't math. So how do we get it to math? Do we need to reduce the amount of calls? Do we need to increase our pricing? You know, this is where looking at the data and taking the time to step back so that you can leap forward is really important. This is why I love, with all of my private clients, we always start with a VIP day where I'm peeling them out of their day-to-day. We're spending 8 hours focused together on their business to where it's like, holy shit, I haven't thought about any of this in years because I've just been running my business, right? So I want you to first make sure the maths. Then I want you to think about what needs to change to honor your, not just your time capacity, but also your energetic capacity. So common places that I see people really operating from this place of exhaustion are when there is no clear scope of work and when there is no clear boundaries. If you have not already gotten a work phone, please do that. Please do not have your email or your work apps on your personal phone. Create a physical boundary. It's hard. I'm obsessed with my work. I think about my clients when I'm not working. This morning I was taking a shower and got this incredible idea for one of my private clients. It's fine. It's normal to love what you do. What's not or shouldn't be normalized is the obsession to the point where we can't be present. So creating a physical boundary is okay. For me, being strong enough to say, it's really easy to just open your phone and open Telegram and, just respond to those messages real quick, and open Slack and just respond to those messages real quick for just a few minutes, and just a few minutes can turn into hours, right? So I want you to think about, where are you not setting boundaries? Where are you not being clear in your communication? Where do you feel like you are getting resentful? Where do you feel frustrated? Because this is all data points for us that's telling us something needs to change. So if you've ever felt like, this makes me so much money, but it's so draining. I literally had a new client say that to me. She's like, I have this offer. It sells really well and I hate it. I'm like, I admire your honesty. She's like, it is my primary revenue driver and I don't want to do it. And so I haven't gotten rid of it. And I'm like, I hear you. And so we will be restructuring that by looking at what exactly is currently included in that offer, what the price point of that offer is, who we are delivering that to, and changing all of those things to test whether, is this an offer problem or is this a scope of work, boundaries, client attraction problem. So if you feel like you have things that sell well, but you don't love them, or they burn you out when you sell them, if you feel like that you subconsciously may have the fear of scaling, which this is a real thing. You may say all day long that you want to make more money and serve more people, but when it comes to actually doing what you need to do to make that happen, you know that you're already overworking or functioning outside of your current available capacity, which is why you plateau, right? So if this is happening, if you feel like, I don't want to take on anything else, but also that sucks because I can't make more money, like, this is where you need to go through that scalability checklist. You need to make sure you're math, and then you need to restructure what you're offering and who you're offering it to so that it becomes scalable. And one of the things that I have seen after working with hundreds of business owners, from levels of making $200K a year all the way to $5 million a year, there is a common thread of women who are really trying to honor both their ambition and that part of us that's just so hungry for like bigger and like, let's go and let's do this, while also honoring the part of them that's like, hey, I'm kind of tired and maybe we need to do this differently. I have curated something that is magnificent beyond words that I cannot wait to share with you. And it's specifically for a woman who is deep in entrepreneurship, scaling, and has the desire for bigger, better, and more, but also really cares about her marriage and her children and having an identity outside of her business. A space where you get to learn how you actually can thrive both personally and professionally. And so if you want to be the first to know about what this is and how you can be a part of it, I'm going to drop the link in the show notes for you so that you can sign up for the wait list. This is not a commitment to buy anything. It is just giving you a first peek inside what is being created and an opportunity to step into that if you wish and if it aligns with where you're going. And so that link will be in the show notes for you so that you can get on the wait list and be the first to hear about what is being created. I hope that today has given you a lot of food for thought when it comes to what you're offering and how to make your business truly scalable without burning yourself out. Because at the end of the day, as much as burnout has been used as a buzzword, it's very popular for a reason. It's popular for a reason because it's dangerous. And it's taking away from our well-being. It's taking away from our physical health, our mental health, and it's taking away from our relationships. And at the end of the day, if we were to peel everything back, I want you to be wildly wealthy, but I don't want your wealth to only be just about the money that you're making. I want you to wake up and feel truly wealthy because your house is full of people that you love and they love you, that you're deeply connected with. And that you go to bed feeling proud of everything, not just that you accomplished or that you did, but who you are and how you showed up for the people that you're serving in your home and outside of your home, but also how you showed up for yourself. And that is a space that, being in that space now, I can tell you there's nothing better. There's truly nothing better. And I want to teach you how to do that. So again, hit the link in the show notes, get on this wait list, and I can't wait to tell you all about it. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you guys next week.